Log Management Kali Linux. Armand Shahriarian. Log Management. For the most part, if you are doing security testing, you may never really need to look at the logs on your system. However, over a lot of years, I have found logs to be utterly invaluable. As solid a distribution as Kali is, there is always the possibility that something will go wrong and you will need to investigate. Even when everything is going well, you may still want to see what an application is logging. Because of that, you need to understand the logging system in Linux. To do that, you need to know what you are using. Unix has long used syslog as the system logger, though it began its life as a logging facility for the SendMail mail server. Over the years, syslog has had many implementations. Kali Linux comes with the RSY slog implementation installed by default. It is a fairly straightforward implementation, and it's easy to determine the locations for the files you will need to look in for log information. In general, all logs go to /var/log. However, there are specific files you will need to look in for log entries in different categories of information. On Kali, you would check the /etc/rsyslog.conf file. In addition to a lot of other configuration settings, you will see the entries shown in example 1 to 10. Example 1 to 10. Log configuration for rsyslog. What you see on the left side is a combination of facility and severity level. The word before the dot is the facility. The facility is based on the different subsystems that are logging using syslog. You may note that syslog goes back a long way, so there are still facilities identified for subsystems and services that you are unlikely to see much of these days. In Table 1 to 1, you will see the list of facilities as defined for use in syslog. The description column indicates what the facility is used for in case the facility itself doesn't give that information to you. Table 1 to 1. Syslog facilities. Along with the facility is the severity. The severity has potential values of emergency, alert, critical, error, warning, notice, informational, and debug. These severities are listed in descending order, with the most severe listed first. You may determine that emergency logs should be sent somewhere different from other severity levels. In example 1 to 8, all of the severities are being sent to the log associated with each facility. The asterisk after the facility name indicates all facilities. If you wanted to, for instance, send errors from the auth facility to a specific log file, you would use auth.error and indicate the file you want to use. Once you know where the logs are kept, you need to be able to read them. Fortunately, syslog log entries are easy enough to parse. If you look at example 1 to 11, you will see a collection of log entries from the auth.log on a Kali system. Starting on the left of the entry, you will see the date and time that the log entry was written. This is followed by the host name. Since syslog has the capability to send log messages to remote hosts, like a central log host, the host name is important to be able to separate one entry from another if you are writing logs from multiple hosts into the same log file. After the host name is the process name and PID. Most of these entries are from the process named Realmed that has a PID 803. Example 1 to 11. Partial auth.log contents. The challenging part of the log isn't the preamble, which is created and written by the syslog service, but the application entries. What we are looking at here is easy enough to understand. However, the contents of the log entries are created by the application itself, which means the programmer has to call functions that generate and write out the log entries. Some programmers may be better about generating useful and understandable log entries than others. Once you have gotten used to reading logs, you'll start to understand what they are saying. If you run across a log entry that you really need but you don't understand, internet search engines can always help find someone who has a better understanding of that log entry. Alternately, you can reach out to the software development team for help. Not all logs run through syslog, but all system-related logs do. Even when syslog doesn't manage the logs for an application, as in the case of the Apache web server, the logs are still likely to be in /var/log/. In some cases, you may have to go searching for the logs. This may be the case with some third-party software that installs to